Gamers, after years of speculation and wondering what the next thing ArenaNet will be doing in the Guild Wars franchise, if it is the Guild Wars franchise, they've finally given us a teaser to what is to come next. Let's take a watch. Beautiful scenery, painterly. Very, very Tyrion-like. Guy holding sword. 6/5, 26. And what is that date, mind you? That date just so happens to be this year when Summer Games Fest starts out live. And from the MMORPG article, which it's no stretch, that's very likely where they will be advertising whatever is coming next. And there's many reasons to think, oh, it could be just an expansion for Guild Wars 2, or maybe it's for the mobile or whatever. But there's multiple things that happened today that kind of prove otherwise. And to go over those, let's start with the number one thing is they gave all this to partners. They gave a nice, picture of artwork and sent it to all the partners to make content and show us and tease us. That's a big marketing push using the partners they have. Not only that, but they also made an official Guild Wars community Discord, which is a really big deal because up till now, they have not had anything public. For whatever reasons, I don't know, but it's been since the big, 2012, they've, chosen not to participate in that. And only now, today, with the announcement, they get a new Discord community server. So join up if you want to be a part of it. That's another hint that's much bigger than just your average announcement. Not only that, but news to me from other partners. I watched some Mighty Teapot's video, whoever supplied him with information, but there's a place where you can find domain names of things that have been registered. And there just so happens to be a guildwars3.com registered under the NCSoft Corp, which today, of all days, it was updated. So that's another big green flag saying, well, maybe, maybe it is Guild Wars 3, or maybe this is the mask of, what the, actual name could really be. So given this trailer, it really reminiscent of when Guild Wars wasn't even out yet. Let's go back to 2010. This teaser reminds me of the very first teaser I remember watching with them back in 2010. And again, as you can see, this artwork, this painterly kind of 2D moving images kind of meshed together and telling a narrative and a story in a setting is not foreign to Arena. They've done this many things, but usually the bigger marketing pushes, it seems like they use the signature painterly style. And now, given the teaser we saw is very similar in the fantasy genre, I would say it looks very much like a Guild Wars universe. But again, I feel like this might be bigger from coming from a bigger video that they're going to tease at Summer Games Fest. And we know it's not cheap to get advertisement at Summer Games Fest. I think it's like $250,000 to start out with a minute teaser trailer or something like that. And the rest, I don't know the little tidbits about it. But again, this looks just very similar to that first teaser trailer. And they played this trailer 2011, the next year at Gamescom. This is the big announcement. They had this really nice kind of cinematic of just Lion's Arch and Blaze Ridge Steps and the branded, and they kind of just itch towards going into this gameplay, which is really exciting because it just tells me that this is much more than a Guild Wars 2 expansion. And the only other time I feel like we've had this kind of big overall encompassing marketing push was around probably Heart of Thorns, which from I remember, they poured a lot of marketing, a lot of funding into that very first expansion in a big way. They rented out, they went to PAX, I believe, and they did a big announcement with Michael Bryan and Colin Johansson, and it was a big deal from what I remember, and it got everybody excited. Can't help but feel excited. What does this mean? I don't know. Is this hopefully it's a Guild Wars franchise thing? That's what it's leaning towards. I would be shocked if it wasn't. I think everybody would have just be like, what the hell? I don't think it's a mobile push, that's for sure, since Reforged has already been out and you can be played by other people in the world, and VOE is still yet to end. Spoilers, by the way. I'm a little spoiler territory here for you when it comes to the story of VOE, but I think Visions of Eternity will have a really big role to play into whatever this next big step for Guild Wars is. And in terms of the story, we know that, again, spoilers and spoilers. We know that the main antagonist has ascended. And with this, he wants to make a change to reality in a way. And which, whatever that means, we don't know. But it feels like a way for us to start over again in this universe and not necessarily mean we have to leave the Guild Wars 2 universe. I know people kind of throwing around the theories that maybe it's a prequel. That would be cool. Me personally, I would like to see an alternate reality of Tyria. I know vaguely that the Mist, in some kind of a lore drop there and there was a lore bit where they said, hey, there might be multiple Tyrias in the Mist. That would be a really good way of not having to kill your world and still keeping Guild Wars 2 intact and you know, be able to service it. So I'm super excited for what's to come. I'm hoping it's not a dud, but all signs, towards the hype train, guys. Get ready. I'm very excited. You should be excited. I think this is a really big deal for ArenaNet. They're doing a lot of big moves, and it's unlike them. So I will say that. But that's it for the video, guys. Tell me what you think. Tell me your theories. I love to hear them in the comments below. Have a wonderful day, and let's go. Friday.